All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And Todd, how are you?
I'm back.
Pretty good.
You're only
For
back
an
for
hour.
half. For half.
I'm only back for an hour. Then I got to go to the doctor.
So we need to take a vote and determine what should we do about this disrespect.
Are we going to do like an Andy Kaufman thing where they decide whether I stay on the show or not? Because you know how that's going to go.
I think most people will vote against it. I think that
I think I'll be finding
they've gotten used to you now, and
I'll be finding a new show. That's what's going to happen. I am. Oh, by the way, I'll make an announcement here because I'm not doing a whatnot tonight. I just haven't had a chance to put anything together. But Saturday night on the 40 and Slip channel, we're having a reunion show. So if you guys are into that sort of thing, I know Scott's listened a few times and a few of you guys have. So I don't know what time yet, but it's Saturday night, probably 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern. So come watch us.
So everyone, if you didn't realize it or not, next week you'll be in the middle of the second quarter next week.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies. I don't know where 2024 is going. With I guess it's the way everything works now. When you get old, time flies, and then man, the news cycle and everything changes like every 10 minutes. It feels like at 10 minutes, but a week will be gone. A week will be gone. A week will be gone. So shortly, in a few 6-7 weeks, half the year will be over. That's kind of crazy. Crazy. So before you know it, what are you doing about, that's what, look, you got to look some for what are you doing for fourth quarter? What are you doing? All your thoughts from January, which January seems so far ago. It's what are you doing to make this year happen? And so you should be thinking those kind of things. It's truly time. It's just, absolutely vintage memories. Bearded it. All the codes and everything are down below. Save yourself some money. Supply Hut, man, I can't tell you how fast their shipping is. There's several of those box companies that are really, really good, but Supply Hut seems to be just a touch cheaper than the rest of them, and they're extremely. Charlie and his gang are really fast shippers. So, if I order today, it'll be here. It'll be here Friday. Who is a Sweetwater legend?
I have never met him.
Me either. I thought he had moved on into legend status, like Johnny Cash or somebody, because we hadn't seen him in so long.
Oh boy. Yeah, I did not move into legend status. I was just hanging out with Mr. Thrifty Santa there for a couple.
So that's one thing to definitely do. Definitely make an account with Supply Hut if you're going to use them, because they do. I've seen as high as 15% sent out, but it'll be good for like a couple 3 days or a weekend or something. To save even more money. There's that trader Barry. What's up, Barry? There's some bad things about you, Barry.
I never said a bad word about Barry ever. Well, except that one time.
Barry, I heard that you like the smell of animal urine. That's what I heard.
Oh, my Lord.
So Anissa, which Samsung product do I suggest? They kind of, you can make it play nice for the Mac. There's some programs out there that would help you transfer. I just list from the phone. So I was doing an experiment the other day, Steve, with my camera, my phone. I list with the phone, and even using the light boxes, I noticed there was still everything seemed to be gray. A lot of dark spots in the pictures, and the iPhone, the one weakness is the iPhone. It's a strength and a weakness. So the iPhone's strength is it's made to be very easy. It's made for you to point and shoot. 99% of people who use a camera throw it in auto mode and let the camera pick, so it does the algorithms and it gives you the picture. Samsungs all have the same modes. They all have the same where they'll help you. But the difference with a Samsung is you can go into pro mode and change the white balance and change things. So I took the old Galaxy phone over there and up the white balance and got rid of the gray, made the pictures stand out. To me, it was easier to adjust because you can adjust the white balance to your box and you don't have to change it anymore. And that was easier than going and changing every single picture.
That's why I quit using a box because mine turn out more yellow usually, sometimes gray, but usually yellow or gray.
And it's the white balance. That's all it is. And so I switched back to using the Galaxy phone. And it makes pictures look so much better. Nobody likes dry cake. That's terrible.
I'll just quit using the name Spaceball. That's not that big a deal to me.
Let's see. So lag is eating one pancake compared to last year. What's standing lag?
Cutting back.
So for transferring, I use. So you can, and this is the easiest. Pretty much the easiest way is going to be Google. It's Google Drive or Google Photo. I believe you can access your photos through Google Drive if you install Google Drive on a MacBook. I think that's, and then tell Google Drive that it can back up your photos on the
So wait, you can't just plug a iPhone or a Samsung phone or a Galaxy or an Android phone into a Mac and get the pictures off anymore?
That's not.
Oh,
it plays. It doesn't.
How long it's been? Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had an Android phone.
So I'll play with that in this. I'll find the easiest way. So I'll probably see y'all on Tom's show in the morning. I know you'll be there. I'll play with that today and let you know the absolute easiest way. So Barry says he now votes you off the island.
I know. I saw that. That is not fair. I could tell you stories about Barry.
It'll be November, and the little kids are gonna be sitting in Santa's lap going, "You smell like dog piss, Santa." There you go. That's his new quote.
Barry and I. So people get some context here. Barry and I picked a hoarder house, and the guy never let his dogs out ever. So they pissed and shit on the floor, and your feet kind of stuck to the floor. The first day we were there, his feet were sticking to the floor. It was pretty bad. They weren't going to let anybody in the house, but Barry, you got to go pick it with Barry sometime if you got some time, because Barry takes his good old time, which is fine.
So, and this is the other option.
Barry got in there.
The other option is, and I haven't done it yet. Is there's some pro camera apps that you can use. So instead of using the native camera app, you can. I think some of them are like $10 or one-time fee, and then it will actually go in and give you the same pro mode on an iPhone and allow you to change the white balance and all that stuff. I haven't gone that route yet, so that's the other one I'm going to try, and because I like using the iPhones and AirDrop and all that stuff. So I'll figure out which one of those works. John uses one of those. So does what's his name? Tommy Bernard uses one too as well. So I think it's just forget. He told me which one it was, but there are like 3 by that name. So let me ask John which exactly one it is. He's probably not awake yet because Vegas time. Maybe he'll be here before. So Barry, I try not to edit photos. Really, I really want to. That's why I've got a smaller light box over there, and the 2 bigger ones is to zoom in and get the correct picture, so you don't have to do anything with it. And so that's why I want to adjust the light balance, so I don't have to mess with any of that. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Leah G. Don't they charge you per photo on an iPhone? What is Mike talking about?
No. I use the iPhone simply for convenience. I mean, I can AirDrop, or I have it where it goes right into my iCloud, so photos automatically transfer to there, and then I can access it from the computer. It's nice, but like you said, the pictures can be dingy. So I want to know about a program too.
So Jabus, the generation that brought the S8 or S7, S8, or the iPhone 7 or 8, they're very similar. Any cameras from there or above, generally the camera is good enough. it's going to be way more than anything eBay. Remember, eBay is still stuck in the Stone Ages. So any camera that's above that generation, I use an XS Max. That's the iPhone, which is the 10s, or the S21 Ultra. Both those phones got a few years on them. So any of those are fine. Don't spend it. I recommend to folks, if you're going to use a phone to list and that kind of stuff, get an older phone. You can get a Pixel phone. You can get Pixel takes wonderful pictures and has control, and you can find Pixel phones for less than $100, and that way you don't clog up your regular phone. I don't like having all these eBay pictures on my main phone. Josh, good morning.
I just routinely delete them. I forget sometimes though, but.
So Leah got some cat barf and hairballs. So there's still treasures there. So Barry found a lot of stuff at his pick. Leah says she found. If you can put up with the misery of the miserable conditions, generally most people won't. And so understand that there's opportunity. But understand what you're buying. If you're buying hard goods and glassware, you can wash stuff off. But if it's like a pair of shoes, nothing that
Barry had to throw his shoes away because they smelled so bad.
But
there's no way you can get that out.
Clothing, you can get it out of clothing, but shoes are different. Shoes are not the same. They're harder to wash. So if you can,
Barry's going to make some good money off of that. That pick, because he withstood it for 2 hours the first time, and about an hour the second time. So I don't know. Did you go back, Barry?
So Josh says there's a setting where you can have your eBay photos saved directly to an eBay photo folder. All right, so I still like having this. So I have a second phone anyway, Josh, because one thing doing retail arbitrage, one's on Verizon and one's on AT&T. So I'll take advantage of using the second phone for $10. So here, Josh, I want to expound on your little problem you had the other day. So for those of you who don't watch Josh, subscribe to Josh Galt. Really good channel, smart dude. So he had an incident show up where he sold an item, and he went to ship it, and it says that buyer is requested to cancel. You can either price match it or cancel it. You either have to refund them the difference or can't. Your two options: refund the difference or cancel. And everybody was all uproars about that, because eBay for years now has done and I was watching Joe, the New York driver or whatever he calls himself, and he had the same thought I had. My first thought this morning was, it just came to me. I'm like, if I'm paying for promoted listings, so say I'm paying 10% promoted listing to be up in search, I am basically paying 10% for someone else to be stuck on my damn listing to show a lower price. I'm promoting other. eBay do they understand that? I am paying for promoted and for all these things, and I am paying for somebody else to be promoted. So Amazon's got it right. Amazon's got. Let me finish my thought, Steve, and you.
No, go ahead.
So on Amazon, if I buy this remote, Amazon is not going to show me this remote again and say, even if I buy the Chinese version of it, plain, say I want to buy a generic remote, Amazon is not going to show me this one again and go, wait, you can save $10 by buying this one. Amazon is going to go, other customers buy batteries with it, or they buy cleaner with it. They suggest accessories. They suggest complementary products. They don't cut you at the knees. Where eBay is allowing you to promote yourself and get your listings higher up, and so most of us will go, well, if I'm going to pay 10% promoted, maybe my price needs to be a touch, maybe 3 or 4% higher to cover some of that cost that I'm paying eBay to collect. eBay is not losing in this deal. They are still, if I price match, they are taking my promoted listings, and they are still getting their fees. they're under the guise of, well, the customer was going to leave anyway for price. The customer didn't have a fucking clue, eBay, until you stuck their listing on my listing, you idiots. I mean, this is just idiot. This is just stupidity.
I had one cancel last night for a better price. That was the reason. But it was like an hour later. So I don't know if they actually saw it on my listing or where they opened up eBay again, and since they bought that, eBay was showing them new listings. I have no idea. But still, the concept is the same. They saw my listing first, and I paid the promotion on that first listing. So it's the same concept no matter how they do it. But I was telling Scott earlier, we haven't bitched enough about this.
Yeah, we haven't.
You got to raise your voices about this, because it's got to violate some sort of fair trade practice. It has to. There's got to be something.
See, I don't have a lot of cancels for price, but I think that's coming where we're going to see a lot of this be affected. It is right now. It's hard enough to get a sale on eBay as it is for a lot of people. And how do you? So if it's new to new, I would tell you I understand new to new, but we all know eBay, and eBay new and new are totally different things. And people take a lot of liberties, and go. They'll tell you, I'll sell you a pack of pen, and go, this is a brand new pen, never used, brand new pen. And one person will go, I just used it once, it's still new. eBay is going to go, they're both new. Get the one that he only used once, new.
I saw somebody on Facebook. I know it's not off topic a little, but advertising a snowblower, brand new, only used one season.
Amazon draws the line on brand new is pristine, never used as it came, and I 100% agree with that. I just do. But eBay is so convoluted in some of the things they allow, some of the things they do, that it's at the end of the day. Well, this is what happens when you get these hippies in California and these crazy liberals who come up with these ideas, who think they sit in the office, they don't sell, they don't understand, and they actually think, well, if somebody cancels for price, they're no longer interested. They're going to go buy it somewhere else. Folks, if they found it somewhere else, they found it somewhere else. You getting cut at the knees, but allowing this, but a lot of it is they don't find it anywhere else. eBay, they find it on the listing that I paid to put in search higher up, and you go, well, here it is, similar items, and it's there. I'm paying to get ahead of that person, and you're going, no, wait a minute. Not so fast.
Well, we'll see how this plays out. I'm not going to get too angry about it yet. I mean, I did have one cancel for price last night, but
see, Amazon doesn't have this deal because remember, Amazon, the customer chooses the price because everybody's on the same listing.
Yeah. So
the customer makes the choice to which one they want to buy from, because the big differentiator, everybody's the same price on the same. And get this, folks, and so how does eBay handle this? So what about the person on the listing? If I'm a sponsored listing, okay, let's take I just bought keys for the topper. Everybody knows. Steve, did you catch that story? I put the topper on the van and went to Nashville with it. I'm gonna fill it up at the yard sales, and I quickly realized after that it was just a sale fin because I didn't bring the key with me.
I had mine on the whole week. I filled it up.
I had mine on too, and I had nothing in it. It was full of air. I filled it up with air.
Screwdriver. I saw the video with you and Philly Picker. Nice shirt, by the way. And I did see that Volkswagen there briefly.
Yeah.
And that,
yes, I picked that one when I was at the beach. We were on vacation, and we were on vacation with Jennifer a couple of years ago. But it's so that key I could have picked it from several other people, and I picked the cheapest one, absolute cheapest one. Yeah. But there are others I could have. So how do you? I ordered that key on Sunday. It got here on Tuesday. Tuesday fucking week. It took 9 damn days or 8 days to get here. So if I'm selling something and I'm promoting myself up on a listing and I've got 1 day handling and I ship extremely fast, but you've got someone else who, as soon as you buy it, it's marked shipped and you're given a code and it's not shipped for the next 4 days. How is eBay differentiating the experience? Because not all sellers are equal. Not all shipping is equal. Not all conditions are equal. But you're just cutting us to the knees at price. It's ridiculous.
I noticed I had one I leave my sales on during vacation. I always do. And I get 10, 15 sales while I'm gone. Just it helps. It's nice. But the buyers never look. So I had this first time ever though, one cancellation for okay, this is taking too long.
Mark.
But I was gone a week and a half. So and they bought it like the first day I was gone. So maybe that's why. But if eBay were to put some sort of thing right up front that said, this guy's a fast shipper, like a lightning bolt or something that indicated that or something, it would make our lives a little easier on those situations. And when I'm on vacation mode, that's gone,
because not all sellers are equal. Not the way, so we've all had bad experiences. You've dealt with that eBay seller that's just a complete and total douchebag. These are the ones that we remember forever. 99% of eBay sellers are absolutely wonderful people. They do the absolute best. They take care of their customers. They're very responsive. That's the way most people are. But okay, so if somebody takes how am I supposed to know whether this person, I use great shipping supplies. I have a tape machine. Everything looks very professional. Versus that person going to use a cereal box. It's just.
I'm going to show you how I got one. This is off of Whatnot. This is what they packed it in.
That gives me.
Yeah, I know, and it's losing pieces. So
that reminds me of ceiling.
I can tell you, I've never had pretty much. I thought of you when I got that, and it was not a high end item or anything. That makes no difference. You got to pack it. Whatnot people, please do better. I've gotten so many packages so far from Whatnot. I had a box
of that in my old bedding.
Yeah, I got a box of cameras. Now he wrapped each one in one sheet of bubble wrap, but there was so much empty space in there. And when I got it, it was a flat rate, large flat rate. When I got it, the whole side was dented. Now the cameras were fine, but come on, Whatnot. People,
so,
I have an idea that a lot of Whatnot sellers, not all of them, there's some great guys out there and great ladies. I've gotten some good packaging too. Are the people that think that eBay's out to get them, and so they went over to that platform. Yeah.
So Patrick's got a comment. Patrick, what up? Says that he purposely doesn't use sponsored listings. Most people don't even pay that attention, Patrick. We're a reseller. It's the same thing as EUC in the listing or all these other things. All these reseller acronyms that we put that people think. Most people don't notice it says sponsored. I'd be willing to bet money. Most people don't realize. So we should, if you're squeamish, skip Josh's comments.
Yeah, I don't want to know anything about that mattress that guy packed it in.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: these people all have 5-star ratings on Whatnot. How are they getting 5-star ratings packing shit like that?
The feedback too. Yeah,
the feedback's always positive.
You could have a 90% feedback seller who decides, you know what, I'm just on price. It could be a business model now. The price lower than the sponsored, knowing that you're going to pick up some straggler sales. This is, somebody else had it. I read somewhere, was it last night in it was in the chat last night. Who was I watching? Major Win. Those guys. Somebody was saying that they think it's the beginning of. I think they attributed this to you, Kent. And if it happens, I'm blaming it all on you, Kent. This is the beginning of price controls and all those kind of things on eBay. That if that is the case, folks, and they go to an Amazon type thing where you can't sell unless they tell you what it is. I mean, this is supposed to be very similar to a free market, and it's very quickly becoming a controlled communist market where they tell you what you can and can't do. These closed markets, they're awful. Whenever your pricing controls are worth what's, we all know this. We all source and we go, well, damn, I can't believe that's worth that. It's worth what the market will pay for it. You know, we're all surprised if everything is based on what someone else's market value is, what somebody else's perceived value of an item is, and you can't sell it any higher than that. That's a terrible place to.
Well, we introduced the words price gouging to the public at large, and now they think everything is price gouging.
Well, it's along the same. So you can't allow, the general public is generally just moronic at best. I mean, go deal with them and you don't understand. They're really nice. They're ignorant in their bliss. They don't understand how ignorant they are. Okay, so here's a one that you want to, if you want to equate what price gouging is to how the public misuse it to becoming a price that I don't like, that must be gouging. Let's bring in racism. If you say a item, oh, it must be because it's racism. Everything is racism right now. Everything, look at between the Jews and Palestine. If you pick one side or the other, it's because you're racist against the other one.
I want to answer vintage.
And I don't care. I don't care either way. I'm just saying, but that's how bad it gets, folks. And price gouging is going to be the same way. Because my feelings are hurt, my whatever, or I don't want to pay this. I shouldn't have to pay this. It's coming in. Vintage, Josh, I had my monetization in since April 5th, so I'm going for it.
I was on vacation, so I wasn't able to leave that seller a bad rating. I didn't get the box, so I was not home. My son picked up the box. He did show me the outside of the box on the camera box, but I didn't have him open anything. I should have. And I would have left bad ratings for them.
All right, Mark, there's the link. But if you come in here on a couch, so help me God. If you scratch inside your sweatpants, so help me, Mark.
Is there an inside joke I'm missing here?
Yes.
Okay. I gotta stop missing shows.
This was the Friday night show that show went to hell.
I missed most of those.
I took that one down because that one went to hell.
By the way, let me introduce you to my best find, Lenticular Jesus.
Hey, good morning, Major Webb. It's just the way society is. Just think about anything and how people are very selfish. They think their view is what the world sees because. And it's all right. Let me go up here and delete this because we'd hate the delete comment.
Oh, what do we have?
We're blessed to have Mark with us.
No
King of Postcard. I tell everybody, the only thing crazier than talking to you on here is meeting you in person. That you're so freaking brilliant that I'm like, I try to keep it up with Mark, but he goes right above my head really quick.
See, I got him fooled. So no sweatpants on.
Just as long as you got pants on. That's
y'all saw that show. That was
as long as I stay above, I'm good.
If y'all saw that show was a train wreck. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, that one caused me to be very thoughtful about throwing the link in there. It wasn't as bad as what's her name had when old boy came up and mooned everybody, but getting close.
I'm glad I missed it. No, I'm not. I wish I would have seen it. Damn it.
So I was thinking about coming down to Nashville. Don't bug you. I didn't make it.
I wish you would have. We had a lot of fun, Mark. Nashville was a blast. It really, there a lot of learning went on, but it was the way it always is, and there was no pretend. You spend time with people and see what they do and ask them. I mean, we sat around Saturday night talking, and it's amazing the learning people's experiences and their best practices and what they do. And I spent some time around some new sellers, and I was telling Major Win, I was telling Doug and them last night that you need to be around new sellers, especially people who have been doing this a long time, because I think the same way, I react the same way, and new people don't. They don't know what they don't know, so they go, "Hey, how about this?" And I sit there and go, "Well, I'll be damned. I'm too set in my ways to have even thought about that." It's a pretty good idea.
A lot of people think, like you're talking about fixing your photos, John's talking about it. That's just a piece of the puzzle. There's nothing it's good because it just puts a puzzle together, but there's nothing I can do that will get me from 1 card a day to 50 cards sold a day. But you put the puzzle together, I might get up to 20 a day. You got to have all the pieces, but I can't fix everything at once. I try. I suck at some things, most things.
But your pictures are, if you've got a decent scanner, that's all your pictures anyway. I mean,
400 DPI, that's it. And everybody says, well, I go into Photoshop and doctor up my postcards. I said, everybody's display and phones are different. Yeah. Whatever comes out of the scanner gets put up. I never had a question about photos. And like I said, I can only do the front and back. The sides just don't work.
Well, nobody's ever said anything about mine. I just didn't like the way that the pictures kind of look dark on the sides from the light box.
Yeah.
And so I knew it was the white balance because I've played enough with video and stuff. I knew the white balance was out. And I started. I'm like, I've got a good Sony camera. I'm like, I'll just start using this. And then I quickly realized I don't want to list on the computer because then I'd have to put the card in the computer to get it to the. I'm like, yeah, let's just fix the phone.
Yeah.
So I remember the Galaxy having Pro mode.
Yeah, I'm in all the stuff like what you guys are talking about with the price matching. If they want to price match a postcard, there's 7 to 10 million postcards out there, and there's 99-cent auctions going all the time. But stuff like that, I don't have a problem. Like me scanning, I have a whole year's worth scanned here in the folders. It took me about 12 hours to do 12 boxes for each month, and I'm done.
But how are we going to price match use to use? And that's the part that's conditioned.
My title's going to be different than yours.
I get new, but when we start saying that your postcard and somebody else's postcards are equal, when condition, one could be frayed and one could be perfect, but you can't call it new because it's a freaking postcard. It's the same thing as this mouse. There's differences in or somebody's hand's been all over it, or what. I mean, you can see wear on an item.
Yeah.
And
with the postcards, my title is going to be different than yours because you're going to see something different on the card. Most of the time, it's just what on the card I put up there. And I don't do best offer on anything, very rarely, because it comes with baggage.
So Josh thinks they're using.
I'm not going to argue for 50 cents.
UPCs.
This is why I tell you, talk to people who have these ideas. So Josh thinks they're using UPCs. So I just clicked on one of my items that's sponsored. And let's click on the person over here who is on my item $1 cheaper. So they are also sponsored. So they do have the UPC. So I'm gonna go in and edit this item, take the UPC out, because for those of you who think about UPC, and I used to think UPC was very important but then I quickly realized, and I forget who, somebody pointed this out, and I'm like, you know what? You're probably smarter than I am in this stuff. We as sellers use UPCs.
Yeah.
When was the last time you think Joni in there with her phone and all the craziness she ordered ever go, you know what? I'm going to go to the store and find the UPC so I can find it. That rarely happens, folks. Mm-hmm. UPC search is by sellers. And so we're taking the UPC off and going to tell it that it's
I would use that as a test. Does it make a difference? How would you know though? That's the thing. I don't know.
No, I'm
probably right.
I'm gonna give it a chance to index, and tomorrow morning I will check it and see if what shows up on it. Where's the UPC? Are they? There it is. UPC.
I don't even know if I have the UPC on that one. I do not.
Delete.
The UPC is convenient for us to look things up and find matched items. However, you do not have to include that.
Okay, so Josh, your item the other day, did you have the UPC? Because the Google search won't index items that should have UPC that doesn't. Jacob, we're ignoring you, Jacob. Just like I've been ignoring you with that distiller right there.
I have one that says UPC does not apply because I don't have it on there, and it's showing similar. It's the same item.
Yeah,
So-
what I do, if the postcard has a UPC, most of them it's too new. I don't buy unless it's
Yeah,
Disney.
you're probably not going to buy it. Yeah.
But it's okay. So let's find. I've got something. I'm sure that's got. Let me go look at my list. Everybody, go look at your stuff on eBay and see if there's anything on eBay that you have that's that doesn't have a UPC. And when you click on it, does it show?
I
Okay, so
bet
here's
that
some-
they're using AI to match UPC titles and all sorts of, items.
look at here. I have a pair of cycling shoes, Black Wave, North Wave cycling shoes. They still show the inspired by your recent views, but they don't show similar items, similar sponsored items. See, this is where eBay is so ignorant. They show 4 pairs of cycling shoes. But guess what it is? Only one of the 4 is the same size. But they're going to tell you that these sponsored people, look at all the benefits you get, all the page views and all the impressions these people all just got impressions from me looking at my own item, and there's no way in hell anyone would go, you know what, I'm looking for a size 5, but wait a minute, that wasn't such a good deal at a size 9. Maybe I'll put some paper in the end of the shoe, or maybe I'll order the size 4 and cut it off and make them sandals so my toes will fit in there. That's ignorant.
Yeah.
But yet but look at the impressions you got and the page views and the whatever. It's
So
all platforms are evil. All platforms are evil. Amazon's just getting a pass right now, but the ignorance which they act.
So Scott, I got scammed for $400 return this last month. My average sale price is $4 to $8 because I work from
Right.
divided back to Chrome. I don't do the really high. I have high price Halloween cards and stuff, but I mostly $4 to $8. I'll never have $12 average sale price.
So did
This
you have
guy-
somebody buy hundreds of postcards then?
Well, the guy came in and cherry picked me out of boxes. Some of these cards have been in there for a year or so, and he picked out 7 cards that equaled about $400 with shipping and everything. And I said, he bought them individually. And I'm saying, what's going on here? And they pay, I ship. His feedback
Right.
was good. He's bought from me before. I don't usually go down that route. So I shipped them individually in white boxes with rigid mailers. So if there was a problem, I wanted to have a tracking for each card instead of putting them all in one box, refund them. It was about 5 days. I got an okay. Everything's good. Feedback. And then 10 days later, he sends me a message on Saturday and says, we had a problem. The post office destroyed all the postcards. I'm sitting there, to myself, what are you talking about? 7 little boxes all at once? Okay, send them back. I want to see this. Here's your labels. He sends them back. There's no problem at all. He opens up a case, once refunded. And I'm sitting there, what, this guy overspend, drunk buy, or whatever? Don't play games. Just tell me I overspent. I'll give you your money back. Just pay the shipping. Well, then he started calling me a money launderer because I actually wanted my shipping back because there was nothing wrong. It was a false damage claim. So I called eBay just to check and see if I couldn't. They said, whatever options show up, do it. So I did it. And eBay said that they would pay the customer if they called about the shipping. So he got paid. I got paid. So I'm whole right now. And one card I didn't get back, eBay closed the case in his favor, and then I appealed and I won, so I got $30 for that card. And then he got all crazy and stuff. Well, one of the viewers, once I did the video about that, found that he bought these cards. He's playing the lottery. He bought them, put them on his store, his site, his eBay store, tried to put them in auction. He didn't get the money, so he canceled the 99-cent, whatever he didn't get.
Right.
And then returned them to me. He's done this so many times with other things on there.
So, you know, that's a customer that needs to be IP blocked and never allowed to order anything.
Yeah, I reported them and did everything I could. I let everybody know the name. If you go to my video that says $4 return, in there is the two names, the town that it comes from. It's Babylon, New York. And he's been doing it to sports cards people. He's been doing it to everybody. And he's been on since 1999. So, and I don't know what eBay, he's still there, so eBay hasn't done anything. But I got my money back. I'm whole. But I was just amazed that $4 to $8, no one messes with that stuff. But it can happen. I put in the video, this can happen to you. It happened to me.
Right.
So,
and that person is so good and knows how to get around it. And he knows eBay is not going to stop him. He knows eBay as well as we do. He knows how to get.
Yeah. And at first people go after the person. I went after the business. How can I reduce the risk I got here? I want my cards back, or I want the money. You can't keep both.
This is not hard. You don't have concierge, do you?
No.
This should be a very easy case, folks. See, there needs to be a way to talk to real people with eBay and explain to a real person who does not live in a third world country. This seller bought product from another. This is fraud. Bought product from another seller. You can see that it's listed on your site. It did not sell, and then he made up a false return. Folks, that person should be prosecuted. That's fraud.
Yeah, I did everything I can, and people said, well, I should have done this. I said, hindsight's 20/20. I protected the business, got all my money back, plus a little bit, and he got one card, but he paid for it. And I told everybody, I said, I think he put more effort into this than I did.
So, hey, put their username in there so we can all block him.
Let me see if I can find him out here. And
see, Josh, that's the same thing, Josh. You should be able to. Calamity Photo should be never allowed to sell on eBay again.
That's just as bad as these guys who are selling UPS shipping supplies on Mercari and eBay, and then just having them straight shipped from UPS, the free stuff. Yeah, same kind of concept. He's not really paying for anything.
Yeah. But who would have thought? Like I said, $4 to $8 average sale price, mostly $4 to $5. That someone would come in and do this to the postcard and play the game. I've never, even when I did all the action figures and stuff like that, I've never had anybody do this to me before. And it caught me off guard.
Well, he's probably done it to you before, except they sold on his site for more.
No, I checked and I didn't see any sales from him as far as I can go back.
Yeah.
But there's so much of this stuff that happens that I don't think. So eBay is in the middle, and they like to tell you they're in the middle. They don't know which side to blame. But when you have direct proof through their site what this person has done, there needs to be consequences that are much more. Look what they did with the shill bidding and all the craziness for sport cards that a couple of years ago that really where they threw one of the larger sellers off. This is the same category of fraud that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And the problem is eBay. So somebody said, I'm sorry, I'll talk 1 second. Somebody said that they need an advisory board and put me on it. But they need someone, that's why Josh has been talking about this, and people don't understand this. He's been talking about wanting to have, some contact with eBay, some feedback. There's currently really no way for eBay to understand what the average seller goes through, because they handpick these sellers that if they don't smile and blow smoke up eBay's ass, eBay is done with them, and they need real world, real sellers, real information out there. What is happening? People like social media influencers, and I'm there's plenty of people out there, and I'm not volunteering for it. that really see what's going on, and people trust them to tell them the stories. And like Mark coming on here telling you exactly what happened and how an eBay seller scammed him, cost eBay money, and cost him money. And eBay knows about it and has been doing this probably since 1999. And how many dollars has this cost that platform not to deal with this idiot? And how many sellers, I see it all the time. It's in my comments all the time. eBay didn't back me up. eBay allowed somebody to screw me. I quit. eBay loses good sellers because they're normal people out there who can't accept the fact this is part, losing things is part of business, and just get mad and talk terrible about eBay and never come back and tell everybody they know how eBay screwed them. And eBay has some simple things they can put in place that this never happens.
And see, like if it happened to one of us that's on this right now viewing this, we're sellers. We understand how it works. You get somebody that's new or been doing it, and this guy would have made off with the cards, everything. He didn't like it that I sent him a label. He didn't like that he had to send them back.
But Josh said that, but also I know there's more to it, Josh, and I didn't know that. But still, though, there was shield bidding involved, and they were bidding on their own stuff. I mean, that's clearly against no matter whether eBay wanted to buy them or not, and all that stuff. When you violate rules, you violate rules.
Yeah, this guy had 4 negatives out on his other store that he sold on of the same thing. And then he had a lot of good good ones in there too, but there was 4 negatives in the last year for the same thing. And another viewer found that for me. And once I was able to prove that he did it, then he's on blast. At first, I didn't know what was going on. Mm-hmm. I just, I'm just not the type of person to do that. People ask me the name, I would send it to him an email. But once I found out he did this, I put him on blast. It's out on the channel in the comments. There's a link there that you can actually see what he did, his store. But it can happen to you, so just be careful. I probably put my shield down. And when this came in, I'm sitting there. I'm probably one of the easiest ones for returns. I'm like you. Returns are part of it.
Yep.
Just talk to me. I'll take a $4 card back. Keep the darn thing. But I don't get returns. I very rarely returns, refunds, stuff like that. So shields were down. Shields are now up for a while. From here up, Scott. Shields are up.
So Harlan says, Harlan is currently giving you bad advice. He says, buy some from him and do the same thing. Mark is not going to do that because if you can't commit fraud to stoop to somebody's level. I mean, honestly, he's committing fraud.
It's what you want to do, but it's not what you should do.
That's the fun answer, but that's the wrong answer. You can't.
I've thought about it many times with some.
Take the hill. Take the hill. I mean,
I had an empty package sent back to me once. eBay took care of me though. Every time I've had anything like that, except way back in the early days, I had one scam that I didn't get taken care of. But other times they take care of me.
Yeah, the first thing, this was not eBay's problem, but they need to take care of it now since they know. But they actually, when I did the appeal on that one card that he said he had tracking, he put on the wrong one. The lady looked at it and said, no, he shouldn't have won that. He was totally pissed off. And then they also told me what to do. So that eBay was fine with this. And I even told them, thank you.
Most of the time, I even seek out Harlan's advice, but this is bad advice, Harlan. Is this because you're hanging out with Marcia? Is this her fault?
Yeah. So I thought I said in the video, I said, when am I running this? SM Postcards cartel here? So is Harlan out for hire? Hitman Harlan. Yeah, it crossed your mind to do that, but I didn't want to put any more effort into it. I got my money back.
Well, like I said, you got your money back. Who cares? Talk about it on a show like this or on your channel, and that's all you can do. And so move on. Don't let it.
The guy's name was that with him? Sports, whatever that was.
Sports 2123 or something. Yeah.
I tried looking him up on eBay. I couldn't find him.
Oh, maybe he's gone.
Yeah, store name doesn't exist.
Yeah, I went right into one of the requests. Let me check sports _2123. Yeah. I mean, it's blatantly. I mean, I put it the way I worded it to eBay. I just said this. in a paragraph, this is what you need to look at. Just take a few minutes, eBay. If someone could take a few minutes and look, you'll see what happened. Thank you. You know,
The problem with guys like him is it's your fault. No matter, he knows he did wrong, but he don't care. It's your fault that he got shut down on eBay or whatever. But
a lot of
looks like he's
sellers,
gone.
$400 is in postcards. Well, it could be a month's worth of sales.
If eBay finally took care of that, and Mark, you are the vessel, I appreciate that. That's the way it should be done. That way, once eBay, once they realize, it's great.
Yeah. Or maybe Harlan got to him. So, but
I won't
yeah,
even, I won't even.
He bought something and got tired of it. But yeah, I mean, I've had people buy a postcard and say, "Well, it's got a crease in it," and and it's in the listing. You can argue $4 to $5, go back and forth. I've won some, lost some. Sometimes you just gotta what they call cut bait and move on. But a lot of times,
I'm an easy one to get over to, just like you, Mark. I just let it go. I mean,
yeah,
I had a return come back while I was on vacation. I had no way of expecting the return. It was $169 return, and
I mean, I got returns in a trash can.
I issued the refund without ever looking at it because, number one, it's part of doing business. I'm on vacation. I could have my son look at it, but he doesn't know what he's looking at. There's a camera. He has no idea what he's looking at, and the problem was the shutter only worked once every 5 times or something like that. It wasn't working correctly. And I tested the camera, but it didn't work correctly because I'm not an expert on testing these things. So I took the return and I paid him because that's what you do in business. It sucks, but it is what it is.
A lot of people, when I get comment emails all the time and stuff, people say I sold it $80 worth of postcards and then the guy returned them.
All right, Josh.
They already spent the money. They don't have the money. They have to go in their personal and get it, and they get really upset and everything. And I just tell people it's not your money they got 180 days really because they can put a charge back in. But usually the first 30, 35 days, it's pretty good. Christmas, I always said June 1st is my free time. All the returns are pretty well done.
Yeah, the big girl stuff already went out with the trash yesterday. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy sent me the camera back, but he got his money back without me ever inspecting it because that's what you do sometimes when you
if you deal in the lower card level, 99-cent, $1.99 auctions, you get a lot of baggage with some of those people because they're always trying to get something cheap. And I credit them trying to get as low as possible, but it comes with a lot of baggage, a lot of conversations. That's why I don't do best offer. You sell the higher end cards. People say they scan them and they send them back. They'll take them, they'll scan the photo. Well, heck, they can take it off eBay. And it happens. It's the ephemeral world. People scan stuff, photos, and nothing you can do. eBay's washed their hands of photos.
So next time Steve is leaving, I'll make a broadcast and we'll all get some free stuff.
It wasn't free. He sent it back. Now I might have to sell it for parts, but it's that 4-lens camera, one of those 3D cameras.
Yeah,
it sold rather quickly, and they will sell, but if it's not right, it's not right.
Yeah,
I'll look and see what they sell for parts.
Yeah,
but
I don't have even with the toys, I didn't have a lot of stuff like that. It was just caught me
I'll
off
still
guard.
make my money. I'll still make my money on it.
The worst
Sell for
time was,
parts
Scott,
pretty good.
is waiting for those 7 boxes to come back to really see what's going on. I couldn't even make a determination. I was on the fence. Did he do something? Is he playing games? Because his messages were all polite and everything. And once I opened my PO parcel locker and I seen nice boxes sitting there, I said, okay, gloves off. But
so Josh says wedding apparel is the worst category for returns. I would tell you that big girl flexies, because the lack of ability to measure the size of their own derriere is way up there.
I just looked it up. The flash on that camera is worth $55 by itself. I paid $30 for the entire thing. I'll make my money still on that camera. So I'll just part it out instead, and I'll sell the cameras untested, or because I really don't know how to test them. I'm just guessing most of the time. I usually don't have any issues, but because I don't know how to test them, I take returns with no question asked on those kinds of things. I know how to test them, but I don't put film in them. Let's put it that way. So I can't see if they actually take a picture.
But see, so Mark is giving you an example, and I agree with the way he did this. Is you treat everybody, you make it very easy to return. You don't worry about those things until somebody so obviously is doing it wrong, and then you take that one very seriously.
Yeah.
If you have any returns today, Mark, you just treat them like normal. Just send them back. You're gonna do whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the way. It's very difficult way to think, but you've got to be able to make that as a one-off thing, and to understand when you're really getting royally screwed, and then it's proven that somebody does something crazy like this, you go after that person, but then you immediately got to go back to, I've got to treat everybody else, like they're just a normal person. They for whatever reason, you go back to, the big girl sends stuff back. I honestly don't care. I'll just sell the next one. I've made all my money on these things. If I sell 7 and 3 come back, so be it. 3 come back. I just throw them away.
It occurs to me, Mark, that you seem to have gotten this guy shut down because you followed the proper channels. You kept it all professional, I'm sure, when you were speaking with eBay and even with the customer, I would assume. If we all just did that, forget the emotion, keep the emotion out, address the issue,
protect the business.
Yeah.
And see, we don't talk about that enough. Is everybody wants to take shortcuts and all these other things. Is so many as business owners, you have a responsibility to your business to make decisions that are correct for the business. It's not all the cheapest way is not always right. You've got to do things. You've got to do things that ensure that you can continue doing this. And it's how many people take these crazy shortcuts on shipping. At some point, some of that stuff will cost you. Not describing and not taking accurate pictures and all these other, do the things that that are correct, because every one of us is going to screw up something. I can promise you, even the beard is going to screw up somewhere, and I'll need grace from someone, and so I try my best to do things right. That's why I tell you I don't see gray. I see black and white. If the rules say do this, that's what I try to do.
I'm so far away from that legend stuff, even with cards like with the war symbols or whatever. I just stay away from that edge. I'll never fall off the edge. And I have a person I send these cards to, and he lists them. I said, I'm not touching one card's not going to kill me on my whole store. And I've seen it happen where they've gotten people got in trouble.
So John, I do Merchant Fulfilled, so they all come back here. They don't do Amazon, so I just throw them away here. So you're
well, even when you were doing Amazon, you rarely destroy anything. You get it back so you could sell it on eBay or something. That's what I did anyway.
So, return, Scott, is one of the 3 things that I talk all the time about in reselling that I figured out from conversations with people, not just me. I'm not that smart, but inconsistent sales and returns are one of the things that really get people, get them going. Is when sales go down, it's all eBay's fault, like you talked about before. Returns, I'm going after this person. That's part of reselling. And if it's excessive there, you got to push back and you got to do something to get your sales back up. But a weekend just to slow sales, I'm not jumping out there putting sales and stuff on. I'm letting it run a little while. But if I see a trend for 6 months and I'm not paying the bills, yeah, I got to do something. But most of the time I got crap stuff up.
Hey, I'm doing everybody a favor. It's time for you to go to the chiropractor. You're going to be late.
You couldn't then let me say goodbye?
No.
Come on now. It's 45 minutes from now. I got 2 minutes to finish listening to Mark.
You got 2 minutes. But it's hard. It's hard to maintain a positive outlook. It's hard. I mean, there's so many things coming at you, and seeing the scammer around every corner is not a good way to it affects everything you do. I mean, you'll start having the thoughts of, well, I'm not going to buy this because it's just going to be returned or returns or too. But whenever you go look at it, my return rate, even with the big girl panties, is like 1.8.
Yeah.
I mean,
I bet you I know mine's below.
It's to me, it's reverse transaction. It's just, I got to look at each one individually. And with eBay standard envelope, if it's $20 and under and the whole order is $50 and under, I'll refund a card that's lost or damaged. I have no problem. I just got one the other day for $17.75 back, a claim with eBay standard. They have their own insurance. The lady was really nice. We went 3 weeks waiting for this card in Texas during remember the ice storms and stuff.
right.
She never got it. And I said, I'm going to refund you. She didn't want it. And I said, I'm refunding you. And I refunded her. And then 30 to 90 days, I put a claim in and I got $17.75 back from eBay.
Hey, good morning, Chris. I don't know, Harlan. I don't know. You'd have to throw them on Poshmark or somewhere because eBay won't allow you to sell used underwear.
Not anymore. They used to be. But all right, guys, I am out of here.
Bye, Steve. Nice seeing you guys.
Catch me this weekend on the 40 and Slip channel if you guys have a chance. We're gonna get Matt and Chris back together. They haven't spoken in a long time, so it's nice to have them back together. And we're gonna do a show, one time only, one more 40 and show, and that's probably it for the rest of our lives. But see you guys later. I will probably be doing a whatnot next week. I'll let you guys know. Later.
Bye, Steve.
So Scott, when I was going to go down to Nashville, some of the people I know I talked to says, you're thinking about, you're doing postcards. Why would you go down there? I'm sitting there. I'm not going down there to buy all the stuff at the flea market. I'm going out there to be with the guys, to get away.
Yeah, you're not going to buy much of that flea market anyway because it's so overpriced.
Yeah.
But and I don't think I even saw hardly any postcards. Maybe one vendor.
A lot of times when I go to yard sales and stuff, I'll still run around here. I got a little Ko-Fi shop. I put stuff in, and my father-in-law still does a few things. I'll walk up to the lady. You got any postcards? They'll run in the house sometimes and bring an album out. I don't get it for $5. So
yeah, but you got to ask that because how many times do you go to a yard sale? Happens multiple times every weekend. What are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Step through that door, folks. Don't. Tell them what have a list, have a whatever, 2 items you say, something. Video games is an easy one. Video games, you got any?
I walked to that one garage sale one time. I'm looking in the garage and these G1 Transformers, those metal ones.
Yeah, they're good.
And I'm sitting there and I heard the lady behind me, those were my sons. I knew she was old. These were old. And I said, yeah, how much you want for these? $10 from all. And there was a pile of them. Me and my buddy sat online for hours trying to figure out what these were because there were pieces and stuff like that. I sold 2 of them. One of them got my money back.
Right. It's all paranormal, Harlan. It's all the weird stuff. UFOs, the works. And that's the secret to. If there's a few things they got. Get an all price. You'd be amazed the all price. So I bought a bunch of Squishmallows last weekend. First one. I'm like, how much you want for those Squishmallows? I don't know, a couple $3. I'm like, what you want for all of them? $10. Shit, 8 of them. 8 of them for $10 or $2 to $3 each.
Mm-hmm.
It's and you'd be amazed the all prices, and they'll even if they throw you out a price, they'll even come off that price if you think it's a little high.
Like when I buy postcards, like at an auction, I'll buy 3 lots. One I paid $2 card, the other one I paid pennies a card. I look at it as a whole. So if I got to pay up in an antique store for some really good cards just to put in the store and have a variety, I know my whole inventory, I'm less than a nickel on cards. Overall, I really can't lose over in the long run, but in the short run, you can lose. But I don't look at individual items as much anymore.
Yeah, I was buying stuff on Whatnot last night for our local auction to sell. And, once you get past like $8 shipping, it becomes free or little to nothing. I mean, most shipping I saw and needed to last like 8 items was $1. And so you look at it and go, well, dang, Beard, you spent $12 on shipping, but I bought 10 items. So the shipping is a little over $1, like $1.10 per item. So many people, I kept buying the same thing over and over. Nobody would bid on it. And the girl would go, he got another deal. I'm like, yeah, quit telling them to bid. I know that's your job, but quit telling them to bid.
Yeah, whatnot. Like Popeye's, John from Popeye's Postcards, he does out of the box lots, and I'll cherry pick certain things like like these. I bought 150 disaster cards from somebody, not John, but these sell. I got maybe 90 cents in each one of these. I sell them for $12.75 a piece. These are long tail. They're going to sit in the boxes, but that one person looking for that flood when they were a baby is going to get it. Or I send an offer for 10% off.
Was that when you were a baby, Todd? Oh no, that's the wrong flood. You were hanging on the Noah's little basket.
On the mountain. So I pick up things that interest me and interest people when they're in the store, and I'll pay up on stuff because I like it. But I'm not going to pay $10 a card. I'm not stupid. But
There are some out there that are worth paying $10 a card, though.
yes, and those are the ones I will find those in a lot that I paid a penny for. I found one studio prop. I was going through scanning. I found this card, where they had the props in the old days. I put it up for $80. Sold within 24 hours.
I mean, you mentioned Halloween already. Halloween postcards, they get crazy money.
Like this one. I went to an auction. I paid $3 for it. It's called a keyhole. It looks like a keyhole. And there's a whole series about those. These will sit. I probably got this for $60, $70 up. It'll be here for a while. But that one collector is going to look for that one card. You got to find that one person with that stuff.
So, Chris, did you get decent money for the Skylanders? Because I see that I buy those in lots, or I had the opportunity. I run to the auction. I bought them 2 or 3 times. So how did what are they? $4, $5, $6 a piece? If that's the case, because you can buy them at yard sales in bulk for under $1.
I used to get baskets of them at the yard sales, and I bring them to the flea market the next weekend and just sell them all.
Yeah, that's a good. There's some, and so those Skylanders are a good example. If you tried to list individually on eBay, they'd be long tail, they'd be lower price items, but it's find an outlet. How many times I gotta say find an outlet? Mm-hmm. Oh, but Whatnot only is cheap. You can't make any money on Whatnot. I'm telling you, the key to Whatnot is the items sell. You flip money over. But you want to hold out to make $10 an item, or do you want to flip them now for $6 and have your money now and start again? It's amazing how many people will go, oh my God, the 10. You're just losing your ass and doing too much work for the $6.
It's cash flow.
It's cash flow and turn of inventory.
There was 2 reasons I stopped Whatnot. One is if I was going to do this many postcard lots every day, I figured it out. I needed to source 80,000 postcards a year because they sell. And I sit there, and then my eBay store is going to suffer. And then the second thing is, I don't want to be on a schedule. I don't want to be somewhere at a certain time every day. I did that for too many years.
Folks, are y'all? All right. Hey, Chris, put some clothes on, Chris, and come tell us about it. No couches, no scratching.
Remember that one Whatnot you did, Scott? And I bought those little army things.
Mm-hmm.
I think I paid $10 with shipping, $15 or something.
Yeah, not much.
I brought them to the flea market, and I sold them for twice as much as I got them from you.
And I was glad to be rid of them. And I see people get so upset. They think people care. If I sell something, I sell it. If another person does well on it, more power to you. I wasn't going to a flea market. So, you know, it's either I got to get rid of them or I'm going to sell them or I'm going to throw them at the auction and be rid of them.
There was one of them I bought from you that was really special. You even talked about it. I can't remember, but the guy just said, I'll take this one. I said, why don't you give me a price on them all? And he come up with a number. And he said like 40. I said, what about 30, 35? I went down a little bit and he grabbed them. So,
all right. So everybody, welcome to the auction. Okay. So I need to preface this for you. He is a Georgia fan. And so please forgive me for that. Welcome, Chris. So, man, and see, you just said a lot of things in there that blows people's mind. You sold Skylanders, which people would tell you don't pick up. You only had 10 people in the room, and on Whatnot, where they say you can't make no money, you just defied the odds 3 times.
Yeah, my Whatnot following is probably around, and I've never seen any of these guys before, so they were all new to me. I got a bunch of follows through the show. The average, I got 1,000 followers and Whatnot, so I'm not like a Harry Tornado or any of these other guys that's got like 200 or 300 people in a room and they can sell anything and everything. But
1,000 is nothing to sneeze at.
And Whatnot just takes 2 people that wants the same thing. So Skylanders, all I did last night was I was like, well, I got 77 Skylanders. Let me just do a Whatnot show because I'm just not into listing those on eBay. Like Scott said earlier, they'll sit forever. They'll sit forever. So I had 77 Skylanders, and I did a pop-up, and I did just, at 10 o'clock last night, and I started them at $1 a piece, and I sold 38 of them. And 3 portals, which I was shocked, about that because, and I didn't know nothing about the Skylanders. I had kids in there that knew everything about these things. They'd tell you their names, what series they was, what adventure pack they was, and all that. And they were buying them, and I had one that was pretty rare and it went pretty high. So I was pretty shocked, and, who knew? I didn't. I just knew. I've heard people talk about Skyland, so I was going to list them on eBay, and then I got thinking, well, I'll just list them on McCord because McCord there's no selling fees, and I'll list them $3 or $4 a piece and be good with it, But then I got to thinking yesterday, well, let's do Whatnot, and there we go. 38. So 38. I had 7 orders, 38 total.
If you can buy them in lots. I mean, if you can buy things in lots, especially Whatnot is a great, if you go somewhere, okay, so say you drive a big red truck and you've bought a lot of comic books lately. If Harlan wanted to play Whatnot, he's bought so many comic books lately, he's just running through the auction that you could sell these comic books all day long on Whatnot. And, it's all about the buy. Can you buy them cheap enough?
I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that table back there, that white table where that priority box is. There's a whole pile of them sitting back there. That's what I'm working on shipping out this morning.
And you said you only got 7 customers, so I mean that's a win too.
Oh yeah, it's 7 customers, a total of 38 Skylanders. So yeah, you're right. That was a win.
I'd have been rid of all of them. I'd have loaded them up and sold them all. I'd have started running 2 or 3 at a time.
I actually offered, so I got 35 left or 34 left or something like that. And I just put them out on the table. I said, somebody give me $25 for them right now. They can have every one of them, because that's the group I was in. And I said, if you don't like 25, make me an offer. And nobody wanted it because apparently the ones that I have now they're really, really common. You know what I mean? Like they come with the starter packs and they're just really common. So everybody has them. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those. I may line them up and send them out for $1 just to get rid of them. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's if you find, put them in a drawer when you find some more, that'd be a good one to put, I got these 10, we're going to start them for $1. And because remember, if you've got the right weight and stuff, you don't lose money on shipping and Whatnot. The shipping and Whatnot's easy. And so the name of the game sometimes is just to get rid of it.
Yeah, shipping on Whatnot's tricky. and if you get it right, if you can get your weight right on there, you're not going to lose money on shipping. You're not, even though the way they do it now, because it's not like it used to be. Was it 3-4 years ago when I first started? It was either 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember how long it's been. When you bought something, your first item, you paid the shipping on it. The second item, it was $1 for shipping. So you added $1. Right. And they changed all that, which kind of, there was a lot of negativity about that. But you just got to pivot, man. Pivot with the system and work the system. I mean, that's all you got to do.
I had the real smaller cheap lots up front. I do like 5 of those. And they'd buy it, then I'd get into the more expensive ones.
And so that's another. See, you got to think these things through. And Mark, that's really smart. So if you know there's a chance you've got some decent ones, start the cheaper stuff a few minutes just to get a few people in there. Allow people to get the show going. I mean, God forbid you spend 2 or 3 minutes talking to people.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They don't around at all.
Yeah, some of the shows I watch, I haven't been on Whatnot in a while. I haven't really been sourcing, but when I go out there, there's some deals. I mean, there's some stuff that just I look and see what's sold, and it's like, oh my God, I missed that.
Yeah. Whatnot.
Then you got people trying to sell a penny postcard for $10.
But each market has a function, and if you understand what each market is good at, so you're not a great Poshmark seller, but if you see stuff that's got new tags at yard sales that was worth it, that's max money on clothes, you can stick them over there. eBay what it's good for. What Amazon and then can run Whatnot. I have a look. The more ways you can get rid of stuff, it's about turning. How many times can you flip items? How much cash can you turn over?
I was thinking about you, Scott, at an auction about a month ago, our local auction I go to. There was 3 new in the box, those older cameras you like. These were new old stock. And I said, if those come cheap, because some people don't buy those, I said, I'll just sell them to Scott. They went a little higher than it'd be worth it. But I'm always looking for other resellers. Like the Pittsburgh Pickers, I find cabbage patch stuff, lunchbox. I send them to them. Then they find stuff they send to me. So if anybody finds postcards out there, I'm an outlet for that.
But like Whatnot right now, so Billy Flipper, you guys know I went to yard sales with him. And I watched him auction off all that stuff. Man, it's just generic yard sale stuff, folks. I mean, it's just he was selling the stuff that he picked up some stuff that I would have picked up, but is there opportunity on eBay to sell it for more? There is, but he's done and he's not storing it and he's on to the next item. I mean,
cash flow.
It's amazing.
So, Mark, you deal with postcards?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to remember that because I just got rid of 400 or 500 of them, really, really cheap.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I usually starting if they're mostly USA, then it's usually $100 for 1,000 plus shipping. Is where I start. If it's all Grand Canyon, Cypress Gardens, it's a little lower. But if a good mixture and it's a good, nice, steady stream, I usually pay up a little bit for other resellers, for finder's fee like stuff. But if anybody finds stuff like that, there's always other outlets. You can find another reseller and just get double your money or half your money on stuff.
Okay, so Tracy's. I haven't seen Tracy. Tracy, you were here this morning. So Tracy goes to yard sales like we do. Tracy doesn't like to sell clothes. Tracy's got a really good friend that sells clothes on eBay, and that's all he does. And so Tracy's got a standing deal with him that if he finds certain clothes, the guy will pay him this. Mm-hmm. So Tracy knows, if I find, these items, for a couple bucks, and he's gonna pay me $5. You think, is it worth the trouble? But whenever you just stack up, 8 or 10 items, 12 items, 15 items, and then go. Have that way to flip these items. It's not people discount and think that everything's got to be a home run. The majority of selling, folks, is just a lot of singles. You don't hit home runs without a whole lot of singles, but it's people get they want it. It's why those videos get all the views, the Holy Grails and the on and on and on. It's most resellers are just run of the mill. Where you're dealing in volume, you're dealing in whatever it is. It's unless Harlan intercepts the deal. The heck is he talking about? I know he's talking about. Harlan bought some stuff before he took it to the guy. I know what he's talking about. I forgot that.
See, one of the things, Scott, I do with postcards, I work in the 4 to 10% sell-through rate of the cards. That's the average and the high average. Then you get the really high stuff and the low stuff. While I'm looking for that average stuff, I find some bigger stuff, but I'm working in that middle there, and that's where I'm staying. I walk into a garage sale or I walk into an antique store and they got rows and rows of postcards. And it's like, well, I just found a honey hole.
Eric, if you paid attention, you'd know that I've been on Buck Channel once. You would know that already. But you don't pay enough attention, Eric. You can't even make it on time today. Terrible.
Hey, Scott, you remember so you was on the show that time and we had to switch it up because you was only free on Thursdays. Remember that? And since then we haven't left Thursday nights. We stayed on Thursday nights. This worked out really well.
A lot of times it's just finding when there's nobody else on is a good slot. And a lot of I've been doing a lot of Friday nights. There are a lot of old people like me who don't go out on Friday nights. I just got to find something besides alcohol. Dang, it's hard. It's hard to drink and get up on Saturday morning.
At one of your shows, I had to watch by myself because I was in the living room and you had I think it was a Friday night show, and if I remember right, but I didn't catch it live. We turned it on, and the first thing we hear is bong party and y'all blowing by smoke.
Oh yeah.
And my wife was like, I'm not watching that. I said, I can watch you with my mother.
That's just Dave. Last week.
Yeah. It's funny though.
Dave don't talk. Dave's a mute. He don't talk. But it's nice to have somebody on with you just to you can ask at least ask a question, or it's people at these live shows. It takes a little bit to get comfortable, and the hardest thing to do is one by yourself. The people that are savage enough to go an hour or two by themselves, it's but to me, I learned so much more interacting with you guys because I appreciate you coming on, Chris. Because man, that's I've been thinking a lot more about Whatnot. That's what Nashville did. There's a lot of Whatnot people doing a lot of Whatnot up there, and it really is just great ideas. I would have never. I have the opportunity to buy those things every now and then. I'm like, calendars on Whatnot, because video games and all that stuff do good, and so you would.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a dead deal, and I was just going to be stuck with these things. And then the next thing I know, it's a couple of people. I had when I made the show, you can see when people bookmark the show. Within 5 minutes, I had 4 people bookmark the show, and I was like, "What?" And I've never had that happen before. Never. Right. So last night was the best. Now, I've had other good shows in the past. I've had some really good shows, but I've been doing ball cards, sports cards, and stuff. And I've had interactions, but not as good as I did last night. But that just shocked me. It really, really did.
Watch some of these folks. There's some good ones out there. So Jennifer's hanging out in the chat. One of her favorites is Upcycle by Bree. Just watch what she sells, and so she's really good at picking stuff and showing you how to use it. Like she's got like a big shelf behind her where she's got all this stuff displayed. Like a the things that hold thread. You can put flowers and stuff in the end of them and use them as different displays and all these. So she's a good one to watch just to learn about. Snack time. Get him, Jenny. Get him. So I went out. I went out the back door, so they don't know I'm here. But it's pick somebody you think is a good seller on whatnot and has some success, and just spend a little bit of time researching. Watch what they do. It's amazing. Nothing's a secret.
I don't have dogs. I have a bird and fish. This is Sal.
So does Sal eat fish?
Oh, he would. He's about 33 years old,
Oh, that's amazing.
and he's been around. And he sits in the office with me all the time. And he's a African ringneck parrot. It was Sally, but then Sally got a ring, so now it's Sal. So he's sitting here. I can do anything with him.
So you transitioned him.
Yeah, he's got one if you want to see. But he sits down here with me all the time. Wherever I'm at, he wants to be. So, right. So.
Hey, Scott Harlan asked, what was the average sale price on Skylanders? Mine was $4.10 a piece.
But yeah, so if you average most of those things, man, you can pick them up for under $1 if you can get a good handful of them. Most people want them gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back in there was a time,
and I didn't do free shipping. I charged shipping on every one of them, 4 to 7 ounces on every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that makes it attractive to the buyer because they know the shipping is going to reduce a little bit as they go. Each one of them, that's the lowest shipping rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember
is that the lowest shipping rate now? I mean, you can go a little lower. You might put them around 3 ounces. Well, no, I couldn't have.
But don't they require you to use Friday?
I'm lagging.
I think they still require you to use priority, correct? So they've been talking about.
I used when I'm shipping out this morning is Ground Advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they went to that.
You can choose.
They went to Ground Advantage.
You can choose. Yes, you can choose which service you want to use when you start your show in the shipping settings. It tells you it's anything between 1 to 5 pounds is going to be priority mail, and then anything over 5 pounds is going to be Ground Advantage. So that's the options you have to choose. You don't have the Ground Advantage under a pound or all that, but I've shipped the stuff that I've shipped out this morning. The two that I have done, one of them was 10 ounces, so it went Ground Advantage, and the other one was 12 ounces. So there and there's in this box I think there's 3, and in this box there's 4. So,
but you don't make any money on the shipping.
Pound goes Ground Advantage.
But that's just saving them money because they make the difference. You don't make any money, so. If
Right.
it says print a priority label, you can print a priority label.
Yeah. I just print whatever label they suggest.
Yeah, South Georgia ain't got internet yet, so y'all have to forgive him. He's on.
Look, hey, I'm not in South Georgia no more. I'm in South Carolina now. I'm in Pickens, South Carolina.
Pickens, South Carolina.
I'm about 20 minutes from Clemson.
I about to say, yeah, you're over there. Jennifer lives in that area. When it I haven't scheduled one yet. I'm gonna start working on Jennifer and I've been talking about it. I am working on that. I will start bringing some I'm gonna start specifically buying it at the yard sale starting this weekend for that stuff. There's a ton of resellers in South Carolina.
Oh yeah. So I see Leroy about once a month from Bud Sweat Sale on RIN. I just seen him a couple of weeks ago. Went up there to where he's at. He's not far from me. I know Absolute Finds, TC. He's not far. As a matter of fact, me and him running each other in the thrift stores. So I mean, he's not far from me at all either.
And then you got Harry Tornado, and you got what's the name in South Carolina too?
Yeah, Julian, Beer Thrift Machine. Julian, he's over in Myrtle Beach.
Have we met the end of the show yet? Are there estate sale or garage sales Thursday in Huntsville? Yes. So Thursday is a big estate sale day here. I think I'm going to one. Above and Beyond is a company I like. They have one. Tomorrow, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 here tomorrow, Sue. Or 8, whatever I stop counting. There are quite a few tomorrow.
So has anybody ever seen Todd?
What?
Yeah, he last week he showed himself on camera for like 15 seconds before I told him.
It's my screensaver now.
It's Mark's screensaver. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was scaring the fish a little bit, but
it cracked my other phone. I had to look at it on my other phone. It cracked it.
I saw that.
I just noticed
coming down the mountain.
I just noticed on his live and your live, you never see him. All you see is the keyboard there.
We see Jenny way more than we see him.
I have a cutout I just put on the screen now and just put that there.
Everybody's going to hunt him down based on what his dog looks like. Ron, if he's available, he's going to charge you by the minute.
I'm easy,
Doug,
but I'm pretty expensive.
Doug, we didn't even miss you. How about that? We just been carried on, Doug. I replaced Steve, so I was somebody who has no internet.
Yeah.
Ron said he's one of your great customers. Yeah, folks. So Ron's in the. I'll tell his business. Ron's in the middle of changing some of the stuff he does and wants to build a postcard business and wants to do that kind of stuff because he wants shipping to be easier. He wants everything to be easier. Folks, it's not bad. If you want to change in reselling, it's not that terrible. Just figure out a way to get the inventory. You've already learned you've already taken all your lumps. Switching what you sell is not that difficult.
So Scott, a Ron story. I'm pretty sure this was Ron, if I remember right. But I put in my Ko-Fi store. It's for resellers for postcards. You watch the channel. I have sleeves and stuff like that I get from distributor, a little over wholesale price. But I put up a thing and I said, people want to do the inventory like I do with these little labels.
Right.
Like on a Dymo, you can put a counter in there, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Sal. And people didn't have that in it. And some people asked me if I could print them out for them. And I said, well, I could probably sell these. So here I am. I put this up and I said, oh, I'll give you 3. I'll give you $500 per roll. There's no problem. I can roll them up. I won't sell that many. I think Ron came in and bought 2 orders, so 6 rolls. It was 3 episodes of a show. I'm sitting there rolling these things up. You know what I found for $20? A little roller. I've sold about 20 sets of those already.
It's amazing. Don't assume there are people that pay for convenience. Don't assume that something won't sell. I bought all those dollar rolls of the 4x6 labels. I've sold a bunch of them. I'm like, what am I going to do with all these things? I'm like, I'll sell half of them. and I'll still have 30 rolls at whatever they are a roll. That's still a lot of labels. He's fixing to order some more.
Yeah, I got it down to an art now. I can wind them up, but I had to find a place to buy those labels because I sell 3 at a time, and I was only getting a box of 12 off Amazon and stuff because I don't make much on them. And I found the place I can get like 40 rolls to a box, so that helped out. But they were killing me at first before I got that roller.
Yeah, somebody like House Label or somebody getting any one of them generic ones like that.
Yeah, I just print off 500 and stuff. I just did another one last night.
Just keep searching, folks. So the boxery evidently went on vacation. They have the cheapest of my 1044 boxes. I'm like, I've got 50 more. I'll wait till I order the next 100. And they finally came on vacation and restocked their Amazon store. Amazon search is not easy. Just look at what Amazon sells now. If they ever fix their search to where it shows you what you search for, it's amazing how much they'd sell. But how many people get frustrated looking for something on Amazon and quit?
I don't even shop on Amazon anymore.
I do. You know what we're doing? This is me getting my my Prime money worth. Your orders. Buy it again, Diet Coke. This is me not going to. You have reached a quantity. They won't sell me any more than 3. Damn it. They only sell you so many a week. Proceed to check out.
I sell these little things. They're little loops. You look at postcards and stuff. And I would be able to get 20 at a time or whatever on Amazon. It was a pretty good price, and I just mark them a little bit to pay for the taxes and the fees. I can't buy more than 3 now. So I found this it's a Chinese thing. So I found a place, sent me 20 of them. It took like 7 weeks to get here.
So if you know the secret, Amazon, if they're the seller, price match, they get a lot of their prices by price matching Walmart. So why do I want to go to Walmart to drag the drinks all the way back over here when Amazon will put them on the front porch? Oh, but Beard, you can use Walmart Plus. I don't want to tip anybody. I don't want to keep Steve working. So if Steve wants to work, he has to resell. Amazon doesn't expect a tip, but they only allow you to order like 3 of those a week. So every now and then I order Coke Zero because they don't treat them the same. I know, Paul. It's terrible, man. I know everybody.
Oh, and here comes Paul in here dishing on us.
Paul, if I would have known that you didn't like Mark, I'd have left your ass at a yard sale somewhere. And he'd still be looking for you up there. He's like, I think you were going to leave me. I'm like, I hadn't thought about leaving you yet. He kept telling me that. I think you're going to leave me. I'm like, yeah, I hadn't left you yet.
Paul still hasn't replied to my email. I sent him a year ago.
I'm going to tell you a fun story about leaving somebody. When I went to see Leroy about 3 weeks ago, we went to his warehouse. Leroy has a warehouse where he does all his stuff at. And we was at his warehouse, and he says, well, hey, follow me back to the house, and then we'll go get some lunch. And I'm like, all right. So I followed him back to his house, and he left his vehicle at his house, and he hopped in mine, and we went to the Mexican restaurant and ate lunch. Well, we were sitting there. When we left, he's like, well, let's just go back to the warehouse. And he hauled around a little bit, and that's what we did, And so it was getting late, and I told him, I says, well, I need to get going, And he's like, all right. And he walked me out, and we shook hands and high-fived and all that, And we'll see you later. See you on the show. I got in the truck, and I left.
And he didn't have a
30 minutes later, he's like calling me, and I'm already halfway home on the freeway. He's like, hey, man. He's like, you ain't going to believe this. I said, what? He says, I'm stranded. Oh, man.
Hey,
He's been giving me a hard time last couple of weeks on our show about that.
hey, Paul. I know you're worried about this, but
There it is.
I now have 3 of these damn things. This is the one going in the van, so that I always have one. I put the other one on the other key ring. That was terrible. That was a terrible feeling to go to all that work to bring the damn topper up there and not to be able to use it because no key. And then for my own wife to mess with me talking about it's just a shark fin now. It's going in the I'm gonna tape it inside the glove box after the show. And that way I don't have to worry with it. But there's just so much to this game, man. So many people are so down on other platforms, and the people that are really successful figure out how to work these new things into their business. I would be a much bigger whatnot seller and would really be very active if I didn't have the local auction. Y'all can't imagine how many things. I've got 60 lots up there today that end tomorrow, and then I've got 62 up there for the next week. Harlan's got 90 each week. I mean, so just think about how much stuff you got to buy that we're dropping 60 to 90 lots off every single week. 48-ish weeks a year. It's a lot.
Yeah, like I said, with Whatnot, I'd have to find 80,000 to 100,000 postcards a year just to do what I was doing, and to source that plus eBay, it was getting too much. So
hey, Doug, thank you so much for the with the one beard on it. I almost cut this beard off the other day. I was like, you know what, damn it! But I ended up cutting all the underneath of it off. I almost cut it all off. I'm like, it's a mess, but there's so much out there, and the answer is not we could have bought way more. The answer is not, why, oh, poor pitiful me, eBay is killing me. I don't have any. The answer is figure out where you can sell stuff. What's up, Jack? It's amazing that so many people are so focused on, and then the answer is, oh, but you can just cross list. Folks, just cross list, and sometimes I'm telling you, now one of them does cross list to Whatnot. I'm telling you, Whatnot's an option that most people are so negative that they don't understand that the opportunity is there. But Chris just got an average of $3 to $4 on those things, but he sold 30 some of them. I mean, for how long were you on there, Chris? An hour?
Yeah, roughly an hour, a little more than an hour.
An hour, and he maybe got 20 minutes of shipping to do. You got all those more people to your now potential Whatnot. You've also got more ideas of what you can do. I'm telling you, man, it's absolutely amazing. Brandon.
I like the little extra money that came in with Whatnot every week. It added to it because these were just cards that I had, lotting them up, and it was easy to do. I kind of missed that, but I didn't think it was sustainable for what I want to do. What in my part of life. If I was doing this full time, I'd be all over the place.
I said almost. I didn't cut it off. I told Joni, and she's like, "Okay, good." I'm like, "Man, shut up." She's been hell on me the last couple of weeks. What the hell? But it's. I'm telling you, if you start looking that way, you'll be amazed. It just takes an idea like, well, I'll be damned. Skylanders, there's actually a demand for go watch people sell Squishmallows. Go watch them sell all this crazy stuff on there. If you can buy at decent prices, your shipping is taken care of. It's absolutely amazing. And you'll go from, I can't sell anything. Oh my God, eBay, to maybe you found the next thing. You found the answer. You found, a different a different way to buy more, because the more you buy, the cheaper a lot of stuff gets. And so it can positively affect your whole business. But the more you can sell over there, the cheaper you can buy things. It's just the net positive of looking at things in a positive light and trying to solve your problems instead of blaming a platform. And be careful who you watch on YouTube. There's a lot of good YouTubers out there. A lot of them are in this chat right now, great people. But that poor pitiful me and that woe is the platform, if you let that get in your head, it changes the way you see everything. It makes it where it's so. That's why I'm so focused on. Right now I'm reading Atomic Habits, and talking about. I'm in the part where he's middle of the book where he's building habits and the different parts of habits, bad, good and bad. I'm telling you, focus on yourself, keep your mind open to the possibilities, try different things. What have you got to lose trying some of these things? That's true, Paul. I definitely don't want to start shaving as a job again. To hell with that.
Now, you talk about the squishmallows, Scott. On Whatnot, there is a specific category for squishmallows, and they sell. People look for that, and they do sell. I've seen some sellers make good money with squishmallows.
I'm telling you, they give them away at yard sales. They give them away.
Yeah. But Paul, you're my favorite fan. You're always in there watching my videos. He knows quality when he sees quality.
So I got this one.
Well, that's cool.
He was one of the ones that was in the alligator. I guess that's an alligator.
Looks like yeah.
That's like something I did in the toilet this morning.
I mean, they for all in like $1.10.
Golly, look at that thing.
That one. I've already. This one's not a squishmallow, but it's Ty's version.
Where do you find them at such cheap prices? Every one of them I find, they're always $5 and up.
The lady had. She said, "I said, what you want for all of them?" She said, $10." And I've already got 4 of them up there.
Yeah.
Was that it? There's a couple small ones I don't see. Oh, here they are. But I know they're over because they'll sell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That one's ugly like Ty. That was horny like Harlan. There you go. All right. Man, so Javis is right. Keep going to yard sales, folks. If you want to know how to find them for $1 each, once it gets down here in the South, man, 10 o'clock, these people want to be done. They want this stuff out of their life. It's in their front yard, for God's sakes. But you find the coolest stuff. I'm telling you.
I went to a yard sale not too long ago. I got a video about it. It shows what I've picked and stuff. And I spent $40. I spent $40 at that yard sale, and I've already made close to $400 off of everything that I've got there.
Yeah, maybe that's what we need. Hey Harlan, make me wear a camera this week. I need to start making the video. Just talking about it, because a lot of people, I don't think they see enough opportunity yard sales. There's so much out there. You know, they go, "Oh, don't stop at a pink one. That's just all girl stuff." Did we stop having little girls? I mean, there's a reason people buy that. There's a reason why a lot of stuff is out there. It's in demand, folks. It's just something you don't. Man, Paul, I think you were still in Ukraine when I started making those videos. So like I said, he found a spear gun, at a yard sale. Did you already sell one on eBay too? Probably weren't born yet. You probably weren't. Yeah, they were making fun of how old I was. What the hell? It's just because I'm old, that didn't give you no advantage at the yard sales, did it? No. Good luck.
Tara
me and
Carey
Harlan-
has
me
a
and-
birthday today. I was hoping she'd come on so we could tell her she was 80.
Whose birthday is today?
Tara Carey.
It's amazing. No, Charlie Brown, come on now. You're not allowed to look up things at a yard sale because what somebody might think of you.
Yeah.
That's the silliest. That's the silliest shit I've ever heard. It's just that's absolutely amazing. So me and Paul will walk around yard sales with cameras on and everything else. But God forbid you use a phone to look up something and see what it's worth.
Right.
If you get good at lying, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, tell them you're looking at it for your brother and you want to go send them a text if they want it. This ain't that hard, folks. Figure out something to tell them.
At the flea market, people would start doing that on my booth with the toys and stuff. And I would just flip out my phone because I could do it faster. I said, here, I found it for you. You know.
There's so much in this world that has gone so crazy. You're at a yard sale, for God's sake. Nobody cares. Once you get to the old man status where you realize that it don't matter what people think and you do whatever you want to, the freedom that comes with being an old dude is just amazing.
I've been to yard sales where they tell me they've Google lensed it and it says eBay sells it for a god awful amount of money, and I'm like, that's not a sale price. You know, they don't know.
Well, you ask them, do I get a 30-day warranty with this? And all the protections you get with eBay. And
yeah, I get 30-day money back guarantee with it. Yeah.
You gonna send it to my house?
yeah, it's gonna take up space in the van. You'll just ship it like they do on eBay too.
I just tell them, hey, when you list it, let me know. Maybe I'll look at it. Well, we're not going to do that. I said, don't you? I'll give you $10 for it.
Yeah, right.
No, as James, that's 100% correct. If somebody sees you looking up something, a lot of times they'll come over and ask you. That's a good saying. Hey, what's you thinking about? What you want for this? Is it have a price? Or hey, I was really interested in this. What's the best you can do? I mean, it's a way in. It's not a negative. There's two sides to every story, and it's how do you look. It's what I've been talking about all morning. How do you look at opportunity? Is it that damn new platform, or is it, oh my goodness, I can sell stuff over there? It's the opportunity is there. It's the bold. You learn that the older you get, the more chances you take. You can take a lot of no's, but there are going to be a lot of yeses. You don't get the yeses without the no's. And if you're so fearful of the no, Harlan will tell you, even my introverted self talks to people at yard sales. And it put yourself out there. It's a learned skill. You'll be amazed how much a smile and a good morning, how you doing, opens a ton of doors, because so many people will walk up and never say a word to the person having a yard sale. It's a good morning, how you doing? Small talk right to start. You'll be amazed how far that goes.
Paul scares people when he goes to garage sale, so they talk to him.
It's like the Jolly Green Giant just showed up.
Yeah, he hands him a script. Please say this, and I'll give you $1. Those videos,
Hey, I got a quick question for you. This is about Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. So I have a It's a chair that elderly people use. It's got handles on it. It's got 4 wheels, and you push along with the seat. I can't think of what you call that thing right now.
Oh, like a
But anyway,
walker?
yes,
It's like a
yes, it's a walker. Yeah, and it's got the seat with the bag. You put store your stuff on. Well, they're all over Facebook Marketplace. You can find them. You can buy them on Facebook Marketplace. I have one that's been used a couple of times. I go to list it on Marketplace, and they tell them it's a forbidden item, and then if I continue to try to list this, they're gonna shut down my Marketplace, and I'll never be able to buy or sell anything on there. And I'm like, but they're all. I don't understand. I've tried different categories. I've tried just putting a rollator. I think that's what it's called. Rollator on there as a title. I've tried free as a title, and it's crazy. I tried different categories, and it just won't let me do it.
Is there somebody you can reach out to?
On Facebook.
On Facebook?
Yeah,
It's probably seeing the picture in AI or whatever, doing a Google image, and that's why it's hitting you.
AI, yeah, that figures.
It's
AI,
medical.
Jeez. Yeah, that's what he keeps putting in. He keeps putting in health and beauty under medical, whatever it is, but it's not. And see, when you go to read their terms and policies, it says wheelchairs, that they won't allow wheelchairs. And I get that, but this is not a wheelchair. But then you see those medical scooters all over Facebook also. Isn't that considered a wheelchair? I mean, I don't know. So I got this thing and I can't get rid of it now. I put it on offer up, but that's it, so.
Yeah, I see them all over at garage sales. All
they're
that.
everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, so Brandon said he's had ProFoot too. So that's sometimes you just take the loss. Have a yard sale, stick it out there for a couple bucks.
Todd needs one. I thought you had
No,
one.
yes, get Todd's address after the show. He needs one because he'll drag it all over the Viking cruise or whatever he's going on.
Where's the ramp?
I mean, it's. Are you going to allow? How long do you allow fears to control your life? Seize the opportunity. You're only here for a short amount of time. You change the way you're thinking. When you get the mine and Mark's advanced age here.
I hit 60 this year.
God forbid you reach Todd's age. It's.
I got like 35 more years ago, or at least 40.
Jack says you can donate it. Can't set a pro tip. Leave those behind.
Well, it was free. It was free.
But then, if you don't have anything into it, give it away. Be a blessing to someone and give it away. Somebody can use it.
Yeah, FSJ had a great idea. Just take it to the VFW. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go ship now. I go ship my pants. Greatest commercial in the history of commercials, shipping my pants. Roll Tide.